When a person sees that maybe his idea was by concentrating on material aspects as a means to the spiritual, but we sometimes change over the means for the end. The purpose of our life is still something materialistic and selfish. We have to work harder. So this is the concept that goes all the way through the Torah in producing ultimately the date of the Mashiach. If you've got any questions. Yeah.
When the Mashiach comes, will he call us back to Torah? Or because look, will he call us back to rabbinical
to our
rabbinical mitzvahs?
Yes, they're also part of Torah.
Well, what about cases where what at least seems to be a proper adherence to Torah creates problems? There was a case not too long ago in Lakewood, New Jersey. A young girl accused a rabbi in the community of being a molester, child molester. Yeah. And the Beis Din sat, they heard the case, Beis Din decided, apparently they weren't, I don't know why they think they're qualified to handle such things, they were not. They said, no, the guy didn't do it, it's all, he's exonerated. The family wouldn't give up on it, and the community turned on the family. Why? Because they weren't abiding by the dime. That was the Beis Din's ruling. They kept up with it.
What was the Beis Din's ruling?
That he did not, that they said he didn't molest the girl. But their family kept pressing, they got the secular authorities involved, and the rabbi wound up confessing. So
the rabbi what?
He confessed. Which again, from a Jewish perspective, he can't implicate himself, but he's going to be sentenced, presumably, at some point, because he admitted he did it. Yeah. So this is completely in accordance with halacha. This guy would have gotten away with it, and the family should have thrown their hands up and said, yeah, okay, he gets away with it. That seems very strange to me. I mean, it seems as though always going back to Jewish values can sometimes be problematic in some cases.
Look, certainly there are, unfortunately, such things can happen. I mean, according to the Masechet Horayot, deals with cases where the Beis Din made a false decision. Because there could certainly be false decisions of the Beis Din. And I'm sure after the rabbi, he confessed that he had sinned, then probably the Beis Din still upheld their point of view that you shouldn't accept the confession.
That I'm not sure of that. I didn't. I read it in the full report.
I'm not sure that once he would confess, the Beis Din would say we made a wrong decision. Yeah.
Presumably, but I would hope they did.
Yes.
But what I find especially strange is the way the community reacted, assuming the family must be liars, and they tried to they harassed them.
They say there's a lot that needs to be put right in our community also. Let's not say that because a community is learning Torah, therefore they're freed from all possibilities of sinfulness. It's not so at all. The sages emphasize that it says that the sometimes the Vra'ele, it said Yesharim Darchei Hashem, the ways of Hashem are entirely upright, but the Rishayim Yikashlu Bahem, people who are saintly, they grow through them to the highest level. And certainly we have also today great saints who, from everything we know about them, that they really high-level examples of saintliness in all their actions. But there are wicked people who stumble in their fulfillment of the laws of the Torah and in their study and teaching of the Torah. And they make severe mistakes because their motivation is so much self-centered and evil. They have evil urges and they don't work to remove them. And as a result, they reach the lowest possible level. Yes.
You say the main objective of learning Torah is to spread among the Jewish nation, to spread the Torah value, moral and ethics. So I'm asking you how we can do this, which ways? Is it the only ways to be 360 days in your Beit HaMidrash praying and studying? Or you can also go in communities like your son. Which ways, which possibilities do you have to spread Torah?
Look, a person certainly can't expect in life always to stay in the Beit HaMidrash. It's got to go out as well. So it's got to know how to deal with all challenges and with people who've got different and even opposing lifestyles. You have to learn that. You have to learn to be strong under all circumstances. So there are some people who perhaps not at the stage that it's advisable for them to go to Kiruv amongst those who don't yet believe in Torah, those who have according to standard Torah, a permissive lifestyle. Someone has to take care. One shouldn't be affected. One should be strong enough to be able to be creative and to come to teach others without learning from lower levels of outlook and from lifestyle. And instead of Yatsa l'lamed nimtza lamed, instead of going out to teach, the teacher learns from the lower levels of the surrounding society. Any other questions?
Is it the hardest thing to say I'm wrong?
Yes?
Is it the hardest thing?
It's hard. For some people it's harder than others. Depends on what matters.
No, because as this gentleman was saying before,
Yeah.
there's certain rabbis who, after this fellow says I'm guilty,
Yes.
and he admitted he was guilty to other rabbis,
Yes.
there's some rabbis still stand there and say, what we said is right, he's not guilty. He admitted it to a social worker, he admitted it to another rabbi, and he admitted it in court. And they say, no, he's not right. We are right. So is it...
Look, there are many contradictions in human character. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's unlikely that the Besdin would say that.
No, it wasn't a Besdin.
Oh, you know the case, you mean?
Yeah.
You know about this case?
Yeah. I'm not saying, no, it wasn't the Besdin who said I'm right. Certain rabbis said, we still say he's innocent. But he himself says I'm guilty.
Yeah.
In the Beit Din?
No, it wasn't a Besdin.
No, what did the Beit Din say?
No, it wasn't in the front of a Besdin. It was in front of you, me and him. 3 individual rabbis. Yeah, 5 individual rabbis.
Yeah.
Yeah, not talking about Besdin.
That's it.
But he admits he's wrong. And they still say he's not wrong. He's innocent. That's what I'm asking. Is it hard to say to admit you're wrong?
It is hard for some people. But of course it can happen. But there's a case brought in the Gemara of Shmuel HaKatan.
Yeah.
That Rebbe called different people and said, whoever, is there anyone here who's not been invited? Because the only people So there's one of the people came who was not invited, but didn't want to admit it. The Shmuel HaKatan said, I'm the one. He wanted to take. He always took accusations upon himself. It became part of his character.
Yeah.
He took accusations upon himself, which were not true, because he didn't want other people to be attacked. To avoid, I mean, there are instances brought in the Gemara where a tzaddik took upon himself the guilt in order that other people should not feel ashamed.
This is a bit different. This is
Yes,
kind
a
of
different situation. But for the situation that was quoted before, if it's like that, of course it could still happen. There's some rabbis, I don't know what rabbi. There's a, I don't, for example, there's a rabbi today, all the measures being taken to make it easier to. They want to introduce public transport into Tel Aviv on Shabbos, and they want to. The head of his party is giving legitimacy to the Reform rabbinate, and he's cutting down payments for let's say all any students who come from abroad in yeshivot will no longer be subsidized by the government in any institution. Not in the universities, yes. Universities, they're given subsidies. But in the yeshivot, and one of the people in that party is a real Orthodox rabbi who is supporting it. And there are plenty of rabbis who have sort of contradictory situations, as we know. There's a did know rabbi who claimed it was 100% Orthodox, and he said, but he said, as an Orthodox Jew, you don't have to accept Torah min hashamayim. He wrote books about it as well. And he also, as you know, this person, people have got different contradictions in their approach, So these things.
How is the ordinary man supposed to take that?
Huh?
How is the ordinary man in the street supposed to take that?
Well, if he wants to get clarification, he should learn Torah itself. Just study the Torah and see what the Torah says. Any other questions?